The time has come to find out exactly where you're running. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name's Lindsay, aka SwishWilly, and I talk about all things Disney. So if you're into that sort of thing, please make sure you hit subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. Today is another Run Disney video, but today we're going to be talking about the course maps for the Walt Disney World Marathon Weekend this upcoming January. From what I can personally see, there are minimal changes to the courses, so if you ran last year, you're looking at pretty similar courses, but let's check it out and see what may or may not have changed. Okay everybody, we are going to start breaking down course by course, and we will also break down staging areas and spectator viewing areas. As you can see, it is the Walt Disney World Marathon Weekend of 2023, and it's also 30 years running, which means it is a big race weekend. There was a lot of hoopla in terms of registration. A lot of people who didn't get the race they wanted, including myself. I will be running the marathon, however, which is still better than nothing, so you'll see me there. So let's start breaking everything down, shall we? I think it's best to start over here at the 2023 Marathon Weekend staging map. This is a staging map for the weekend overall. So as you can see, it is showing you where your rideshare guest drop-off pickup is, your resort bus drop-off, your Good Neighbor Hotel bus pickup, which those Good Neighbor ones are basically the ones by Disney Springs. They have partnership with Disney, but they are not part of Disney. So there is transportation coming from those resorts as well. As you can see, there's also where you can see the resort bus pickup and the reunion area spectator viewing. So let's break it down. So up here where it says event parking, this is essentially where runners are going to park if you are driving in. If you look down below over here, you're going to see the rideshare and guest drop-off pickup. So this is including your Uber, Lyft, whatever rideshare program you are looking to take. Or if you are getting dropped off by friends or family, this is where you're going to go. If you've ever parked at Epcot, you have likely walked by this spot, and it's actually going to be clearly marked with a very large balloon, so you'll be able to easily find it on your way back from running. Just far off in the corner, this is where your normal resort bus drop-off is, so there's nothing new here. It's just early morning instead. So that is where you're going to be dropped off, which means you're going to have a little bit of a hefty walk over to the start group and reunion area. So your start group area for the 5K and 10K is over here, and this is your Thursday and Friday races. The start group area is basically where you are going to be corralled to start the race. Now the reunion area is where your friends and family can meet you directly or wait with you before you go into your staging area. So friends and family are allowed. That is not a runners only area. Runners only areas are basically marked in the pink. So if you don't have a bib, you can't get in that area. Your spectator viewing is where they're going to have bleachers where your friends and family can watch, hold signs. Most courses will allow you in certain areas to cheer on your friends and family. Typically it's going to be in theme parks, along the resort routes and all that fun stuff. But for the 5K and 10K, you're a little bit more limited in terms of where people can meet you. Especially in park because the parks are not technically open. So let's zoom in, shall we? So over here, this is a little bit better breakdown for you. In the reunion area, you'll see where you can get your food and beverage. Most people end up getting this post-race, but you can definitely get food and beverage before. Your entertainment is typically a DJ. So you have a lot of fun. You can do a lot of your warm-ups there. Sometimes on race weekend, it can get pretty cold, so you may want to warm up that way. Now your game day photos, I'm not 100% sure. This could be where they stage things for your races. So they'll have basically backdrops, which you will see also at the expo, where you can take some pictures and get that photo op. Over here, you have your info tent if you need anything at all. If there's issues with bibs, if you've lost your bibs or anything like that, you can typically go to the info tent and they can help you out. Baby care is exactly what you think it is. Advent Health, so it's basically your pre-race medical tent. This is your gear check area. In order to check your gear, you need to use the clear bag that was provided to you at the expo when you picked up your bib. You have to mark your gear check bag very clearly with your bib number. That way when you pick it up, you get the right one. And just FYI, there are a lot of trailers, so remember which trailer you put it in. The AWD area is where your runners with disabilities as well as your runners with disability guides will go. And over here, once you are done your race, this is where your buses pick you up. So you don't have to walk all the way down to where you were dropped off, as those are going to be for your park day guests at this point. Now we're going to scroll down over here. Over here is where you can get your good spectator viewing for around the finish line. So again, here, these are the bleacher areas. There is a standing area kind of as you're going this way. But you do get your medals pretty much right away. And then as you continue to walk, this is where you'll get your water bottles and Powerade bottles to take home. Bonus medals, this is mainly if you are doing the challenges. So if you're doing Goofy or Dopey, once you have completed those, this is where you'll pick those up. And over here is where you'll get your post-race runDisney box, as well as a banana. Now I think that we should just completely go and dive into the race course maps. We're going to start with the 5K, go to the 10K, half marathon, and full marathon. I will put those in chapters below, so in case some are irrelevant to you, you know exactly where to go. All right, so let's start with the 5K. As you can see, the 5K is limited to one park and one park only, and this is Epcot. All right, so I think that what we'll do is we're going to zoom in, and I'm going to roll you through the courses this way. Of course, you saw in the staging area where your start section is, which is going to be right in between the Explore lot and the Create lot. So to start, you are going to run out of the parking lot and around the parking lot down Woodpecker Lane. So you'll be on the opposite side of the Wonder lot, and you're going to continue down over here to Overpass Road. Overpass Road will then bring you into Backstage Epcot. So you're going to hit your first mile marker right here. And you're going to run right under Test Track right here and continue backstage and come out in between Norway and Mexico. Once you come into the Norway Pavilion, you are now officially in the park. So you're going to run on the World Showcase Promenade past Norway, and you're going to continue over here, cross that bridge from China into around over to Germany. You're going to continue. This is where you're going to get your first and only water station for the 5K. It's right outside of the American Adventure Pavilion. You won't miss it at all. And you're going to pass through Japan, pass through Morocco, up and around to France. And you're going to cross these two bridges. You're going to go this way and this way as if you're going to the United Kingdom. However, you are going to take a sharp left turn going downhill to the International Gateway. My recommendation is if you are worried about your time, you don't really have to worry about it for the 5K, but if you are trying to do a personal best, continue to run down this because it's completely downhill and you'll get some pretty good momentum. When you continue over this way, you're actually going to exit World Showcase and you're going to exit Epcot completely by going through International Gateway here. Once you get to this point, you're going to see you have a hairpin turn. You're going to turn back towards the Skyliner on the left-hand side, and you're running backstage back into Epcot. So over here now, you're going to be right behind the International Gateway and continue through backstage until you come out through the UK right here. So this is basically where the washrooms are. So if you can kind of get a visual on there, you're going to come out through where the bathrooms are on your right-hand side. Then you're going to continue past the UK into Canada. You're going to continue over through here, head over to basically the top of the World Showcase in between the two towers here. And you're going to continue straight down. And you're going to be going to the right-hand side towards Creation Shops and over to Club Cool. Run through this breezeway right towards Mission Space. And once you hit Mission Space, you're going to turn right and go right in between Test Track, Mission Space, and head backstage again. You're going to run up Avenue of the Stars, again past Test Track, under Test Track, over and around, up, and you're going to continue backstage this entire time, and you're going to hit your 3-mile marker, which means you only have 0.1 to go. You are almost there, and you're going to head right back into that Imagine parking lot and hit your finish line. Alrighty, let's head over to your 10K. As you can see, this one also is predominantly in Epcot, but you do also utilize the boardwalk as well. So let's zoom in here again, and we're going to start over here. Here you have the exact same start area as the 5K. However, this time you are turning left. So once you go left, you are going to actually exit basically the parking plaza. You're going to go through the toll plaza backwards from what you are used to. Continue, and then you're going to do a hairpin turn, go to the right and up Epcot Center Drive. Once you get to the top of Epcot Center Drive, you are going to turn right, head down this area, hit your 2-mile marker, and continue through this area. You're now going to be beside the parking lot here and heading through the bus staging area. Here, you're going to go backstage Italy through Avenue of the Stars. So you are officially backstage Epcot here. Up behind Soarin', and you'll pass into the Imagination Pavilion and come out by Journey into Imagination with Figment. And once you go in park, that's where you hit your 3-mile marker. Let me zoom out a little bit. Here you're going to continue and run through the park into the area that brings you into World Showcase. To give you a bit more context, this is essentially the area in which the old Starbucks was. So you're going to come up around here, hit Refreshment Port, go in through Canada, continue down, and you're going backstage UK. So where you came out for the 5K to come on stage, you are now going backstage by the restrooms and around this way. You're going to continue down. Here's the Skyliner area. And instead of going back into the park like you did for the 5K, this is where you start running towards the boardwalk. So you're now taking this area. Be mindful, these areas can be slightly uphill. So take your time if you need to, but just be mindful. It's a smidgen uphill. And here you're going to continue. And here you'll continue by Beach Club and Yacht Club and continue down all the way over here. This is where you're going to go by the pier and over this way. You're going to continue down. You're going to come up here over across this bridge and you're going to turn back into the boardwalk area right in between Jelly Rolls and the Atlantic Dance Hall. This is where you'll hit your 4-mile marker and you're going to continue all the way down through the boardwalk. My biggest thing for this, if it is raining, please take your time on the boardwalk because it is essentially made of wood. It can be quite slippery. You'll hear announcements that if there is rain, caution runners. So yeah, just be mindful if it rains, take your time over here. Then you're going to come back through where you came from. And this part's a little bit downhill. So again, you can take your momentum and keep running down this way. You'll gain a little bit of speed once you're coming in through International Gateway. Now here you'll come in, Now, like I said, this part was downhill when you were leaving, but you're going to have a pretty good incline here. This is very much uphill. So again, take your time if you need to, or use that momentum that you carried through here and just speed your way up. Here you're going to cross those bridges, go into France, and instead of actually continuing on the promenade, you're going to run backstage over here. So you're going to come close and run by Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, and you're going to go backstage onto this area. And you're going to continue, and then you're going to come up in between Morocco and Japan. You're going to take a right, and now you're officially going to be finishing the race, essentially, for the most part, on the World Showcase Promenade. So you're going to pass the American Adventure, go up here once you hit your 5-mile marker at Germany, and you're almost there. You only have 1.2 miles left to go. You're going to cross that bridge towards China, continue, go right past Norway, past Mexico, and now you're going to head over to outside of World Showcase, the opposite way of the 5K. So you're going to head down, and you're going to make that right similarly to what you did for the 5K. Run through that breezeway, come in between Mission Space and Test Track, and you're going to continue backstage. For the remainder of the course, you're going to hit that 6-mile marker, which means you only have 0.2 left to go. You are almost there, and you're going to come out again in the Imagine lot and finish your race. So now let's talk about the half marathon. This is going to be your staging area, so it is slightly different than the 5K and 10K, where you're going to actually take a hefty little walk from the reunion area over to the staging area here. You're going to have a letter on your bib, which essentially tells you where your corral is going to be. So as you can see, this one is going through A through F. So you're going to find your little spot here. This walk is going to seem like forever. It is a very good warm-up walk. So as you can see, this walk to the staging area is pretty long. I promise you it is beneficial because you need to get your muscles moving. Needless to say, this is where you're going to head for your staging. All right, so let's go into your course map. As you can see, oh, that's weird, not in alignment. Okay, so as you can see here, your half marathon hits 2 parks. So you're actually going to be running through both Epcot and Magic Kingdom, which is very, very cool to run through Magic Kingdom. There is a little bit of a lull, and I'll show you where that is. But let's start from the beginning, shall we? So as you can see, your start is right here, which we just showed in the staging map, and it's going to make you run down Epcot Center Drive, and you're basically heading to Magic Kingdom. So keep that one in mind, that is where you're headed. So you're going to head down, and now you're heading up World Drive. So your first 2 mile markers actually are going to come up a little bit faster than you think. And you're going to continue, another water station, medical tent. And here is obviously your Magic Kingdom Toll Plaza. There's going to be a lot of people trying to take pictures. Just be mindful that people are running, so try to limit the pictures over there. And you're going to hit your 3 mile marker up this way. You're going to run through the Magic Kingdom parking lot. You're going to be running through the Magic Kingdom parking lot area, and you're going to continue over towards your 4 mile marker, which is going to be right outside the Wilderness Lodge. Continue up towards the Contemporary Resort. Be mindful, there are some slight uphills in this area, so just be a little bit careful. Make sure you're preserving your energy. Once you get to the Contemporary, you are going to take a left-hand turn. You're going to continue here. You're going to be running on the back side of where the resort buses go to drop off day guests. You'll continue over this way, head through the main entrance of Magic Kingdom, and this is where the race gets really fun. You're going to be running around this little hub area and up through Main Street USA. This is really, really cool, and typically they are still decorated for Christmas, so you do get that sensation of the holidays at Magic Kingdom. There's usually quite a few people here cheering on their family. So you're going to head up this way, and you're going to take your right-hand turn to Tomorrowland. Unfortunately, you are taking a pretty hard left outside of Tomorrowland. You're barely in there, but you're going to continue through this area, go up around the Mad Tea Party, through Fantasyland, and you're going to take a left-hand turn that'll bring you through the castle, which this is one of the coolest spots. There are typically some race photography over here, so if you are really into getting that castle photo, you can usually detour a little bit to the left and take that picture. Not up here though, sorry. It's going to be around here by the castle stage. You're not going to stop right there. This is where a big bottleneck happens. Be very mindful that this area you may slow down. Once you get outside of that castle area, you're going to get into the hub, turning right towards the Haunted Mansion area. Fortunately, you don't go to the Haunted Mansion, but you're heading into Liberty Square. Once you turn left, you are now going to be running through Frontierland all the way down, and you're going to be heading out backstage here. If you have ever stood by Splash Mountain to watch a parade, this is where you're going to exit, is where the parades start from. So just to give you a little bit more of a visual as to where you're headed. So this is the area where you may potentially see some parade floats. So keep your eyes out for that for sure. You're going to head backstage here and head up over here to the Caribbean Way. This is where the race starts getting a little bit long. I'm not going to lie to you, so be mindful that this area can be a little bit dull. Depending on your pace and where you start in the race, it may be very dark here still. So be mindful of your areas, because this area can be pretty dark if it's still essentially nighttime when you're running. So you're going to hit your 6 mile mark, which means you are almost at the halfway. You're going to run down Floridian Way, and yep, that means you're going to be running past the Grand Floridian area. As you can see, I'm just going to zoom out. It is a pretty long bit before you kind of get any sort of entertainment around here with the Grand Floridian. Then you're going to hit your 7 mile marker. You have your Disney golf course here. Get a little bit more to look at, but just be mindful again that this is essentially the entrances to the Polynesian, so you're only going to get a little bit of visual. You're going to continue down here in between the Magic Kingdom parking lot and the golf course. Continue to your mile 8 marker, and then you're heading down over back towards Epcot is essentially the goal, right? So you're going to head back World Drive where you came up. You're heading now down, all the way down. Then you are going to take this nice little on-ramp over to Epcot Center Drive. When you are here, this is where I kind of always say to myself when it starts getting long, I'm always like, okay, you have a 5K left to go. So just remember that. Once you hit this area, you only have 5K to go. So you're going to continue down Epcot Center Drive. And once you hit this spot, this is a hairpin turn, everybody. This is where you're going to hear caution runners, sharp turn ahead. That's what they're talking about. You're going to head back towards Epcot. Over here, you are now on the side of the Epcot parking lot. Here's your resort buses. And you're going to head backstage, over around your 12-mile marker. You're going to come up around, similar to the 10K where you're coming in through Journey of Imagination. So instead of turning up like you did before, you're actually just going to kind of continue over this way and head towards Creation Shop this way. But again, like the other races, you're going to run through the breezeway of Club Cool, out in between Mission Space and Test Track, and turn left, and off you go a run-in backstage to the 13-mile marker, which is great because you know you only have 0.1 to go, and you're heading back here and finishing in the same spot as the other races in the Imagine lot. Without further ado, let's talk about your marathon. Here is the marathon staging map. So as you can see, it also goes A through F for your corral placement. However, F is the only one on the left-hand side. Not quite sure why, but whatever. And you're going to have that long walk. Let's head over to that course map. Alrighty, guys. Okay. This map can be very, very daunting to look at because if you notice, you are actually going into all 4 parks and around by the Blizzard Beach area. We'll get to the Blizzard Beach thing in a little bit and I'll let you know my thoughts on that, but let's just get this going. We're going to zoom in to the start area over here. Like the half marathon, you're going to have the exact same start point on Epcot Center Drive, and you are going to be going all the way around. But instead of heading to Magic Kingdom right away, you're actually looping into Epcot. So you'll hit your 1-mile marker, and instead of continuing straight, you're actually going to go to the right and around, over, back towards Epcot, another fancy loop-de-loop to bring you to that 2-mile marker, and off you go on the sides of the parking lot, through the resort bus area, and into the park. Now, the other races, if you notice, kind of went up this way. You are coming in over by Spaceship Earth. If you know where the lockers are, that's essentially where you're coming up from. And you're going to come in this way and run underneath Spaceship Earth, which is one of my favorite parts of this course because I'm a big Epcot nerd myself. But yeah, so you're going to come up this way, head towards Club Cool and Connections Cafe and run through that breezeway. You're going to exit the same way that you would exit on a completion of the race, but you're going to hit your 3-mile marker here. And you're going to come out, but instead of going to the left to finish, you are heading to the right. Over Overpass Road, which is this is the backstage area of Epcot. Right here, this is where the cast parking is. You're going to continue this way over down Backstage Lane to back towards Epcot Center Drive. So now you are officially back over on Epcot Center Drive, and now you are heading to Magic Kingdom. Hit your 4-mile marker over here. Oh, this is annoying. I'm sorry. I'll get rid of that. And you're going to continue all the way down. You're going to go towards Magic Kingdom. You are hitting your 5-mile marker. You're going to head over this way, over and over and over. Hit your 6-mile marker. You're going to World Drive, which means you are on your way to Magic Kingdom. Down World Drive, continue. Let's zoom out so I don't have to keep scrolling like that. You're going to hit your 7-mile marker. Now, this is where it's a little bit different. You are going to go down to Floridian Way and around this way instead of continuing up through World Drive. So now instead of hitting up that Cruella parking lot, you're coming in through Mulan. You're going to continue this way to your 8-mile marker. Head over, continue. You're going to hit that Ticket and Transportation Center, take a hard right to Topiary Lane, bring you up to where you came out essentially earlier on the half marathon, but now you're coming in this way. So you're going to be passing by the Wilderness Lodge again, over here towards the Contemporary Resort. And now this is where you get similar to your half marathon, where you're going to come up and around. This part, you're going to come in here. So instead of coming in around this way, you're going to come in through the side. So up behind Tony's Town Square, and now you can go up Main Street, which again is beautiful. If you've never done this before, this part can cause some tears for people. I know it's very emotional for me typically when I'm running through it, but it's just fun. And you're going to take a right-hand turn into Tomorrowland. Again, a very, very brief stint in Tomorrowland where you hit your 10-mile marker. Run through this area. Instead of heading over this way, you're actually going around over here by Ariel's Grotto, and you're going to keep on moving. And here you're going to come back down Fantasyland in between the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh area and in through the castle. So here again, this is where you can take some nice pictures. There's always going to be a Run Disney photo op right here. So if that castle picture is important to you, this is where you're going to get it done. You're going to turn towards Liberty Square once again. Take your turn into Frontierland. But this is where it gets a little bit different and gives you a little bit more of a viewpoint of just Frontierland. This is my favorite part of Magic Kingdom because I love Adventureland. So if you know that little cut point where you can get from Frontierland to Adventureland pretty fast with the bathrooms, this is where you're running through. You're going to run through Adventureland right by one of my favorite attractions, Pirates of the Caribbean. You're going to go right up and around back into Frontierland. And you're going to come out, up around here, make a hard left turn by Splash Mountain. And again, just like the half marathon, you're going to exit basically where the parade route comes out. So you're going to head around here, be mindful. You'll see some parade floats likely. Often there's a photo op, so be prepared for that. And this is where it kind of gets a little bit long. The good thing is that you are almost at the halfway mark. You only have 2 miles to go before you hit that halfway mark. So that's kind of rewarding when you're leaving Magic Kingdom. You're going to head down towards the Grand Floridian. Again, let's zoom out because this is a lot of highway mileage. This is, again, over here is very dark. If you are an early runner, if you're a fast runner and you have an early corral, it's typically still going to be dark. So be mindful, it's very dark over there. And you're going to head around here, pass by the Polynesian, all that fun stuff. Go right along the golf course and turn onto Bear Island. This is where you are heading now to Animal Kingdom. You're going to cross here. Once you hit that end of the Palm Golf Course, you are now over halfway there. You're going to continue over here. This part, I'm not going to lie to you, will likely feel like the longest part of the race. So you're going to kind of come through here. It's all backstage. Not a lot going on over here. However, once you hit mile 16, you are essentially in Animal Kingdom. So you are backstage Animal Kingdom. This is where Kilimanjaro Safaris is, to give you a little bit more context. You are going to come in to the Harambe Market by Tamu Tamu. And now this part's fun because, as you can see, you are running all the way through here. You're going to be very familiar with this if you are an Animal Kingdom fan. Now this part is fun. Last year, we didn't get this because Expedition Everest was closed for refurbishment. However, most people, granted, you'll have to see what your timing is. This is where you can kind of pop off. And if you come in during park hours, you can ride Expedition Everest and pop right back on the course. Typically, they'll let you go through the single rider line. You have a bib, they'll typically give you some preferential treatment. However, not guaranteed. So if you're into getting a bit more adrenaline, some of us need an extra bit of adrenaline, you can take your little break here and ride a ride. You're going to run through Asia over to Dinoland, USA, come out this way, and now you're going backstage. So you're going to hit your 17-mile marker here, and you are going to continue running backstage behind Expedition Everest and continue down Savannah Circle. Let's zoom out a little bit here. All right, so what I didn't say earlier is when you come, what I didn't say earlier is when you come down this way, you are going to have runners running by you in the opposite direction. This is like, you're going to feel, well, now at this point, I don't know about you guys, but I always like, oh my God, there's so many people ahead of me. I have no idea what's behind me. Once you hit this spot and you can see how many people are behind you, it can also give you a bit of an adrenaline boost because you'll know kind of where you're at in the race. So you're going to continue down Bear Island Road, back, going against the traffic on the other side of the road, down Western Way, and now you are heading to a new park. Here we go, everybody. Now you're towards your 20-mile marker. Once you hit the Coronado area, this part feels really good because you're like, okay, I got a 10K left to go. Once you get to Buena Vista Drive, you're going to turn right. Continue down here over to Blizzard Beach. This part, I wish... Now, this is the part where I wish they still went through ESPN Wide World of Sports. That is an unpopular opinion, just saying. But I personally think going through a parking lot of a water park is not that intriguing to me. But anyway, alas, you must do it. So you're going to head through here, out and around, back out to Buena Vista Drive, and continue down. You're going to continue. You hit your 22-mile marker here, and now you are heading towards Hollywood Studios. So it doesn't take too long between when you get to Hollywood Studios from Blizzard Beach, which is really nice. You are going to run in through backstage and come out from backstage by Fantasmic and over, running by Twilight Zone Tower of Terror, one of my personal favorites, down Sunset Boulevard. Unfortunately, you don't go down Hollywood Boulevard. You're going to actually pop backstage right before you hit the Once Upon a Time gift shop. You're going to continue down. Now you come out through backstage here, and you're going to come out by the Skyliner. So this part, I love when I hit that 23-mile marker because now I'm like, okay, I have a 5K left to go here. It feels awesome. And at this part, if you're scared that you are going to get swept, this is the spot where you are least likely to get swept. You're going to be running down around towards the boardwalk. Over here, you're going to pass by those tennis courts. Over around here, you're going to pass by that creepy clown pool. Actually, I think they changed it, thank God. It's no longer a creepy clown. But you're going to keep going backstage, come out through in between Jelly Rolls and Atlantic Dance Hall, and head around the boardwalk. Again, if it is raining, please be careful because this area is pure wood and it can get pretty slick. So if it's raining, take your time. You're going to head down here, 24-mile marker. This spot is downhill, slightly downhill, so you can gain some momentum this way by running over here. The good thing is, because now you are heading, now you're heading backstage, you're completely avoiding this uphill incline. So you're going to head backstage right behind the UK, and you're going to come up right in between the bathrooms here, the bathrooms and the red phone booths, and you're going to turn right through the UK and up towards France. You're going to cross those two bridges, and you're going to continue running down the World Showcase. This spot around here is where I typically have my family members meet me because it is that last bit where you just need that final push, and seeing friendly faces is so nice. So if you can get your family around this area, it might be exactly what you need. You're going to pass through American Adventure all the way past Germany, around, past China, through Norway. Once you hit Norway, you only have 1.2 miles to go. You're going to continue through Mexico. Down here, you're going to come basically up through the walkway the same way you were doing the other races, in between the breezeway of Club Cool. Continue towards, this is going to be very familiar because you already did this. You're going to be going in between Mission Space and Test Track. However, when you go over this way, instead of turning right to go out of Epcot and towards Magic Kingdom, you're turning left for that final push down Avenue of the Stars out behind over here. Once you get over here, you're at your 26-mile marker. You have 0.2 to go. Run your heart out, folks, because you are now officially finished in the Imagine lot. You did it. You hit 26.2 miles. Be very, very proud of yourself. It is not a feat a lot of people can do. If you had to walk it, who cares? You did 26.2 miles and you are now a marathoner. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope that you got exactly what you needed out of this and you find out exactly where you're running. And if you have been watching my Run Disney videos, you know that I will be running the marathon. So if you do see me at the expo or in the race corrals or anywhere within Disney World, please make sure you stop me and say hello. I would love to meet each and every one of you. And a friendly reminder to make sure you hit subscribe and click the notification bell so you never miss a video. Have an awesome day!
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal!